Guys, that's diabolical. I feel sick. But honestly, give her a break because I'm really scared. God. Oh. Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. As you can tell from the title of this video, I am going to be reading the I'm actually not sure, Boys of Tommen. There we go. The Boys of Tommen series for the first time. I decided to make this its own reading vlog with spoilers because I know just how big of a fandom surrounds this series, how many people love it, and how many people feel really attached to the characters. And seeing as I'm finally reading it, I thought I would just share that with you guys because I love to watch people's reactions to the books I love. When I first read The Ballad of Never After from the Once Upon a Broken Heart series, I went onto YouTube and I looked at reaction videos, especially to the last couple chapters of that book. If you've read it, you know what I mean. So I thought, seeing as I'm finally reading this, I would give you guys a reaction video. So this video will have spoilers in. I will be fully spoiler reading this, but I will put a timestamp here of where I talk about my thoughts without any spoilers at the end, in case you've clicked on this video just to try to figure out whether you should read this series, whether I recommend it or anything. So I will have a segment where I talk about it spoiler free, but the majority of this video I will be spoiling everything. So don't watch this if you plan to read this in the future, because I don't want to spoil everything for you guys. But I'm very excited and also quite nervous to start this series, just because I know how many people love them, but also I know it's heartbreaking. From what I've heard, you fall in love with the characters, but all of the characters have been through so much, and I've heard that it makes people feel quite sick, kind of some of the things these characters go through. I am already 100 pages in. I started it. I literally just finished reading 100 pages. I read the 100 pages in one sitting. I honestly didn't want to put it down, but I did want to start this video and talk about my thoughts so far before I got any further in. I am just going to do this video on just the first book because I don't know if I'm going to be reading the series back to back or leaving gaps in between them. And I only have the first two books right now because I wanted to make sure I liked the series before I bought them all. So I just thought I could do one video per book. Also, because they're massive books, this one is, I think, I'm trying not to spoil, nearly 800 pages. So I think I'll have definitely enough to talk about if I just use this book for this video. I will keep you updated how long it takes me to read it. So it is currently the 19th of April, so I will keep you updated on the dates and how long it takes me to read it. I'm hoping it won't take me too long, but I am in my very busy period of work at college. I have a lot of assignments going on, but I don't want to take too long to read it and spoil the book, because I personally feel that if I take really long to read a book, then I will likely rate it lower than if I read it in one sitting or something, just because you tend to forget the elements and it just feels less of a big deal when you're spreading it out. Yes, so my first thoughts, we're 100 pages in, so we've been introduced to our main characters. Shannon, man, she's been through a lot. We don't know everything about it right now, but just the amount of bullying she's been through in her past school. Obviously they haven't explained anything in great detail yet, I wouldn't say, but just the situations they've talked about, and also the alluding to her dad's anger issues and just a broken home, and also that her older brother walked out of the house and never came back because he was gay, living with a homophobic dad, and just the way Shannon's dad is described, he sounds like a horrible human being. So it kind of does make me feel a little bit sick that Shannon had to go through all of that. It's disgusting. And then to go to your new school and think it's a fresh start and then get hit with a football on your first day by the most popular guy in school, and what happens her skirt ripping as well. That's just horrible. I would cry. I mean, she did cry, but I would also cry because that's insane. And then we've also met Johnny, who's the main character. I got a bit confused at the start because obviously Shannon's brother is called Joey and the main character is called Johnny. I've sorted it in my mind now, but I've a bit too similar of names. I got a bit confused for a second. But yes, Johnny is our male main character, and he from what I'm getting, he puts on this mask because he knows he's very popular, because he's oh, it's not football, it's rugby. I'm so sorry that I said football. Because he's a very good rugby player, he's getting scouted and stuff. But then when we see him with Shannon after he accidentally kicked the rugby at her face, when we see him with Shannon, he's so gentle and nice, and him threatening the guys on his team to not tell anyone about what happened or try to pursue her because she's literally 15, that was a good scene. But at the same time, he is nearly 18 and she's, to be fair, she's nearly 16, so they'll be 16 and 18. It's not a terrible age gap, but it will still be interesting to see how that works out, whether they'll make it a bit issue. They've already brought it up as an issue, but to be fair, they haven't interacted much yet. We're 100 pages in. I feel it's been very much character building so far. I love both of them. I would say, I think I love Shannon more just because of the amount she's been through, and I just think she's very brave to start a new school, and to go through that on your first day is absolutely horrendous. I do like Johnny, but I like the way he acts around Shannon. I like him when we're in his perspective, but the way other people talk about him, I know it's not actually a testament to his character, but he can be a bit harsh. He does seem to have a little bit of anger issues, but I'm sure we'll get to know him more. I do I do like him as a character, but I feel like I could like him more the more we get to know him. I'm hoping we do anyway. And then Gisby, sorry if I'm like, I just read like I just started this book, so I'm still like getting to know the characters and everything. But Gisby, he seems like a funny guy. I don't know, we haven't really been introduced to him that much, except that he will literally fuck his way around the entire school. So like that's not my favourite character trait. I am someone who very much likes, I know this is kind of a romance, but it's also kind of like a character study. With my romances, I always want emotional connection before physical connection. But when you think about it, they are teenagers and they're rugby players, they are going to be like that. I feel like I need to face the fact that this is realistic and I need to accept the characters as they are. So I feel like I need to get used to Gisby. We haven't really been introduced much to his character. I don't know his personality so much. He seems like a good friend to Johnny, so that's good to start off with. And he's being nice to Shannon so far. Also, he's calling out Johnny on his shit. Like Johnny's like saying he's not bothered with about Shannon. Like he doesn't care. Like she's not even that pretty. Blah blah blah. And Gisby has seen right through that shit. Also, I do believe we've just had his first interaction with Claire, and he definitely likes her. But also, I don't love when it's the storyline of a boy fucks around, but he has like a soft spot for one girl, which is what we seem to be doing with Gisby and with Johnny at this current. Please say it's Gisby because I feel like I'm saying it and now it's wrong. Yeah, it's Gibbsy. Good. I got Gibbsy. I hope I'm saying that right. I'm sorry if I'm like anybody's like dying over there. But yeah, I feel like I like him. I love Claire, and we haven't really. There's been like only a couple of lines about Lizzie right now, so I don't know enough about her to comment on her. But I love Claire. She seems like a very good friend to Shannon. I think Shannon just needs good friends at the moment. Yeah, I put it down at 100 pages because I knew I should start this video and update you guys because I'm supposed to be like stepping through me reading this book for the first time and I can just like read half a book and then update you. So that's my starting thoughts on the book. I am very excited to jump back into it. I do need to get some work done, so I might not read any more today, but we will see. I'm very excited to read this series and I'm very excited for you guys to come along with me. So I will update you once I've read a bit more. Okay, so I am now on page 242 of this book, which is good. I just managed to sit down and read from wherever. I think I was on page 100 before, so I just sat down and read 142 pages in one go because it's finally sunny, it's a nice day outside, and it is still quite early on in the day, so I do expect to read quite a bit more today. I'm hoping to get to the halfway point, which is page 400, so I have around 150 pages to read to get to that halfway point, so hopefully I will be able to do that today. So what we just got to, we've finally had some more interactions between Johnny and Shannon, because beforehand it was like kind of talking about their like first meeting. Obviously they talked when we first met and he threw a rugby ball at her head, but then after that they didn't really interact at all because he was told to stay away from her, and he also wanted to stay away from her because like he doesn't want to like her because of her age and just everything like that. So we didn't get some interactions between them for a long time, but we were also just getting to know them as characters, what's going on in their life currently, and also the dynamics they have with their friends, which is very like obviously important and interesting to see. Like I like all of their friends. I love Claire, she seems so fun. It's so obvious that Claire and Gisby are in love with each other, so it'll be so interesting to see when we finally get to their book. And Lizzie, who is obviously the other girl in the trio, we still don't know much about her, we just know that she's really steadfast, really headstrong, so I really like her. I'm excited to see what her book will look like, but that's really exciting. And yeah, obviously Gisby, again, just a bit of comedic relief. Do love him, he's so funny. And we haven't really got to know the other ones of Johnny's friends. Like they've been mentioned, but we haven't really got to know them. And then we've gotten to know Joey, who's Shannon's brother, a bit, but not that much. So that's kind of how I feel about the characters. I still love Shannon. I think she's a great character to be following. Obviously, she's going through so much. She's been through so much, so it's nice to follow her. And she's currently happy in her friendship group in her school, which is great to see. But it's also important to see her still navigate the problems she has with her home life. And then Johnny, I think I definitely prefer to be in Shannon's point of view because Johnny's talked about things like I don't love sometimes, but also that is kind of what's expected of him. Like that's a life people expect him to lead, with like drinking, girls, and he is very focused on his sport, which is nice to read about. And also he is going through a bit of an issue with his injury at the moment. So I just finished reading the scene where Johnny gave Shannon a lift home. Firstly, it was really fun to read a scene where Johnny's defending her honour in front of Shannon, and Shannon actually seemed that he cares. That was nice to see. But I just finished a scene where he gave her a lift home, and their conversation in the car was really back and forth, really bantery, really nice. And you were like, oh, okay, like I can see how we're gonna fall in love with them as a couple. And then I think what started it off was him asking like why she transferred to school. Obviously he already knows because he's looked at her file, but she doesn't know that. And obviously she transferred because she was getting like bullied and beaten up. And obviously they don't know each other that well. She's not just going to suddenly admit that she's been bullied her whole life. So I think it was totally valid for her to not bring that up. And then obviously her asking about his injury and him opening up and then shutting down straight after that, like, oh, I hope you don't tell anyone, like, but you better not tell anyone, like all the other girls would just like talk about it, like tell everyone and stuff, which I found a bit, I didn't love that. Like, it's a very human reaction from Johnny, because obviously he likes Shannon. They were both kind of opening up to each other, getting to know each other a bit more. It's quite an intimate situation. So it makes sense that he would open up accidentally and then freak out, because he knows like all the other girls he's been with would have gone and told the whole school about how he's injured and how he shouldn't be playing and blah blah blah. And he can't really, because he doesn't know Shannon enough to know that she wouldn't go and do that. So he kind of freaks out a bit, which is totally fair. But also it's not nice to see, because Shannon obviously then felt like a bit overwhelmed and like, why is he like shouting at me? Well, he wasn't shouting, thank God, but it was a bit like of an abrupt change. So I think her reaction to say what I really think is that you shouldn't be playing, you shouldn't have been given the clear from the doctors, and I think we shouldn't talk anymore if you're going to turn that abruptly on me. It was totally fair. But obviously I hope they can fix it soon, but I literally, the last thing I read was her getting out of the car. So we'll see. I reckon they won't talk to each other for like probably 200 more pages, but we'll see. I'm excited to read more of this today, and I'll keep you updated. Okay, I'm aware that I'm in the exact same outfit, in the exact same position, but I promise you that it's hours later. I've had a lovely day out in the sun. It might not be over yet, but I have reached my goal for reading for today, so it might be over. So if there's an update after this one, good for me. If there's not, then that's kind of expected. But I'm on page 454. I was originally planning to stop at page 400 to update you guys, just so I can like do it methodically. Obviously, page 400 would be like 150 pages since I last updated you guys. But we got to page 400 and Shannon was just about to go into Johnny's house. And I could just tell that it was going to be like good. And then they ended up spending 50 pages together. And I think that's personally what I really needed, because I love yearning. And obviously, Johnny's been yearning this whole book so far. And so has Shannon, but Johnny's been very much yearning and like protecting her honour and everything. Him protecting her honour at the bar, firstly, when she saw the girls that used to bully her, that was one of my favourite parts of the book so far. But it's nice to see yearning when they actually have a reason to yearn, like they're actually spending time together now, actually getting to know each other as like people and kind of their secrets. Obviously neither of them are fully opened up, and you wouldn't expect them to at this point, but it's nice to see the yearning when they have a proper reason to yearn and not like that girl's so mysterious and like she's pretty and stuff. I'm liking Johnny more and more the more time he spends with Shannon. I think him spending time with Shannon is like really good for him, or it's just when his real self comes out, and I love him when he's with Shannon. So I think I do actually really love him as a character, and I think them spending time together has helped me love them as obviously a potential couple. I do still see the problems that could arise with it, and I do understand why they're not like close to it, especially Shannon's like not opening up with Johnny at all. She's still very like, she's not awkward around him, she's a bit awkward around him. I don't know. I think it's just got to the point where obviously she was at his house for a bit, because her brother had to leave because her mum had a miscarriage and her dad was bringing her home. Obviously her dad reappearing is never good, and like hearing her like the fact that she was relieved when she found out her mum had a miscarriage is so insanely human and complicated, and that's what I love from characters. Like sometimes being human isn't nice, and sometimes you feel an emotion of and you feel guilty, because like from an outside perspective, if like she told Johnny that she was relieved her mum had a miscarriage, Johnny would be like, what the hell, that's so fucking messed up. But because we know what we know, we're like, yeah, it makes sense that you're relieved, because you don't want to bring another child into that situation. But the fact that she did have a miscarriage is absolutely sickening, and the fact that it's probably because of Shannon's dad's behaviour towards her and just the stress of everything is also absolutely sickening. I go through so many different emotions just reading like chapter to chapter, because one chapter I'm like giddy because like Johnny's defending her honour, or they're like spending some time together and I'm like, oh, they're really cute, and then the next chapter I'm just like, I feel sick like reading about Shannon's life and what she has to go through. And the next chapter it's just, I'm laughing because of Gisby. Like Gisby is such a good comedic relief. I'm so excited for his books. I love Gisby and I love Claire. Again, I do think Lizzie was so right to say like, oh, it's obvious you're in love with Claire, so why are you fucking around with like half the female population? Because that's so valid. That's what I don't like in characters. They're kind of like, I love childhood friends to lovers and like close proximity and stuff like that. And I think I am going to love Claire and Gisby's romantic storyline when it does come up. But it is one of my least favourite plot lines when there's this guy who like swears he like loves this girl and he's going to marry her and he's been obsessed with her for ages, and yet he's still fucking other girls. I hate that kind of thing. Maybe that's me being a bit too sensitive, but I do like him as a character so far, and it's not bothering me as much because I know it's not their time right now. Like it's not their book. If it was their book, I'd be like, get your dick, like stop it. But it's okay. So far, I love him. I'm very much enjoying the book. I feel like I'm very much into it now. So yeah, I'll update you again later. Okay, excuse the state I'm in and the lighting of this clip, but I was just reading before bed, and I can't believe I stopped at the chapter before this chapter because I feel absolutely sick. So the chapter I stopped at before I updated you last was she'd stayed at Johnny's house for a bit because her mum had had a miscarriage, and Joey had to go pick her mum up. And then Joey had just come and picked her up from Johnny's house. But obviously, when chapter after that, it actually made me feel so sick because Joey's not going back to the house, which Shannon said earlier on in the book that she felt like that was going to happen. But I was like, oh no, Joey won't abandon her, but he has. And he just said, I want you to fight back. The next time he tries to touch you, take a knife and plunge it into his heart. And like, I read stuff like that in fantasy books all the time, like stuff like that, and I've read about abusive parents before, but I don't know, it's really like messing with me. Like, I just wanted to read a couple of chapters before bed, and I think that was the worst chapter I could have read. That's the fact that Joey's leaving, and Joey would even consider putting like reporting it and putting the kids back into like foster care or whatever it is after what happened to Darren last time they were put in foster care is insane. But also at the same time, I don't blame Joey because you do reach a point where you can't deal with it anymore. And he has this promise of a beautiful life with his girlfriend, who seems so sweet, by the way. And we can't blame him for taking it, but it's so painful seeing Shannon getting left behind. So I know this wasn't like a proper update, and I'm sorry about like the quality of this clip, but I just needed to talk about that because that's crazy. I'm gonna read a couple more chapters. Hopefully they're not traumatizing because I do need to sleep soon. So yeah, I will update you guys whenever another big moment happens or whenever I reach like 300 pages or whatever. Not 300, 500 pages. So I'm now at page 550 of this book, and I finally know why it's called Binding 13, because I just found out that a group of girls in Johnny's school made a bet on who could get Johnny to notice them / date them / just kind of be with them first, because he's seen as the most like attractive, most notorious guy in school, the most wanted guy in school, and obviously Bella won that bet, and it was called the Binding 13 bet. Obviously Johnny and Belly, oh my god, just on my temporarily, Johnny and Bella aren't together anymore, but that's why it's called Binding 13, and obviously because his jersey is number 13, it makes a lot of sense now. But I just think obviously that bet in itself is really sad because it just shows how much of this book is centered around these students like sexualizing each other. Like Johnny is sexualized by so many people in the school. All of the people on his team are quite sexualized, but then also all of the guys in the school over sexualize Shannon. So it is just kind of like a sad but very realistic depiction of kind of like teenagers in school, kind of like where their minds go. But also I would say it's a very good commentary on how we treat sports people in society today, because I would say obviously if you've seen my other videos, you know I follow Formula One. I would say we see a lot of sports people getting overly sexualized nowadays, and I think it's really sad because we're getting a bit too comfortable with it and forgetting that they could see that stuff online or they could hear that stuff being said about them, and it's not necessary, I don't think, to sexualize celebrities or literally anybody, you know. But I think it's a good conversation to be had. I would say the writing in here is very Wattpad coded, in a good way and a bad way. I would say the writing isn't bad at all, but I would say that Shannon seems to get herself in a lot of situations where I just don't think you would really get into in real life. Like she keeps tripping over, like having just the worst luck. She keeps needing Johnny to save her. And it's just the amount of times that it's happening. It's like happening every chapter. She gets herself into a situation where she needs Johnny to save her. And it's just getting a bit more unrealistic as it goes on. Like, I'm all for getting our two main characters to interact with each other because that's obviously how the love story develops. But I just don't love how Shannon is portrayed. Like, she's portrayed as so weak. And I just think as a girl who's grown up in an abusive household, I personally, obviously, I don't have any experience with it, but I personally would think she would have gained some kind of strength through that. But maybe that's wrong. Maybe I don't know. But just in my mind, like, I don't really know how she keeps getting herself in those situations. But I am liking how their relationship is developing. Johnny is obviously so head over heels for her. Shannon likes Johnny. And there is quite a valid reason for them not to be together. I would say the age isn't a valid reason because they're close enough in age. Like 16 and 18 really isn't bad. It's 16 and 17 right now, but it'll be 16 and 18 soon. And that really isn't that bad. I think that's just the excuse Johnny's making so he doesn't have to admit to himself that he wants to date her. But the actual excuse of him needing to focus on rugby because his whole life has been about rugby and he's so close to playing for like his dream team, like it's actually within his grasp and he knows he needs to focus. I think that's a totally valid reason for him not to be in a relationship right now. And also because he does know somewhat of what Shannon has been through. Obviously, he doesn't know her family situation, but he knows a bit of what she's been through. I do understand him not wanting to hurt her, but I do also think he seems to be really bad at not talking to her, and he's also really bad at just being her friend. So I think it would be kinder of him to just leave her alone if he can't date her, to just not be with her at all. Because I just read the scene where she kissed him and he didn't kiss her back, and I was just I was cringing. So I'm assuming the next chapter is going to be him reacting to the kiss and like, oh my god, like probably freaking out about it because he's obviously in love with her, but the fact that he didn't kiss her back, it's like kind of killing me inside. Like I got so much secondhand embarrassment because that's the first time she's ever put herself out there for a guy, and like a guy like Johnny, like that's got to be really scary. So it shocked me that she was the one to kiss him first, because I didn't think it was going to be that way. But yeah, I'm going to go read some more now and then I'll update you guys after. Pretty close to finishing. Well, it's 800 pages, so I'm not that close to finishing. And I have been reading it for a while now, but it's quite a big book. But yes, I'll update you later. Okay, so I'm now at page 722 of this book. I was really planning to update you guys sooner because obviously we've now jumped about 200 pages. But I just sat down to read this last night. I didn't have my phone on me, so I couldn't record. But I just like kept reading and reading and reading. Like it was a really good, I feel like it's progressing really well, it's flowing really well, because obviously it's such a long book. We've had so much time to get to know the characters for all of the setup to be done. And I wouldn't say that the setup or the getting to know the characters was boring at all, but it's also a really good thing, because when you get a book this big, you're going to assume that there's like a bunch of setup to be done and the setup's going to be kind of boring, but then like knowing the characters really well by the end of the book will kind of make up for it. But I feel like this book did the setup in a way which is still interesting, so I'm really happy about that. But I feel like obviously we've definitely gotten through the setup now. The story's flowing really well, we know all the characters really well, we know the relationship dynamics really well, and I feel like it's just really nice to read right now. So they've obviously gone to Dublin for a rugby match, and Shannon and Johnny were sitting on the coach together the whole way up there, and it's just cute for them to spend time together. We had another scene where Johnny's injury was brought up and he kind of shut down, and I was like, oh, don't do this again, like that's so annoying. Like kind of it's kind of a miscommunication trope, but not really. Like I get why he doesn't want to talk about it, but it's kind of annoying like how he shuts down so quickly when Shannon's like obviously not going to tell anyone. And then Shannon told Johnny about her billion because he apologized for shutting down, which was, and like having that communication between, I think, is so important, because we have Shannon kind of admitting to herself that she's in love with Johnny. Johnny's basically admitted to himself that he's in love with Shannon. So the fact that they didn't really have that much open communication up until now, I was like, do you really love each other? Because you don't really know each other. But now that they can talk that openly and they're sharing like their deepest, darkest secrets on a random coach on the way to a rugby match, which maybe isn't the best time, but I'm just glad we're finally getting open communication, and it makes me like them so much more. So the chapter I just read was the match and Johnny getting injured. So that's a bit scary, but obviously you can see how everything is kind of coming to a head. It's all like a bit of a dramatic ending. Johnny said that he wants to talk to Shannon tonight after the match. And in my head, that's either he needs to cut it off for good because he's basically bulldozing his whole life for this girl, but he's already said he's going to cut it off a couple of times and he never does, or he's going to date her. I'm hoping it's he wants to date her because he knows there's no other way out of this, because he will just keep wanting to kiss her, trying to act like her friend and keep messing it up. But I'm interested to see if that conversation will still happen now that he's injured, and I'm sure now that he had to be taken off the field because of his injury, he's probably going to be stopped from playing rugby for a bit, which it'll be interesting to see how he feels about that, how it affects his actions, because I wouldn't be surprised if he went on a bit of a spiral. I think when you put so much of your life into something, it makes sense to go on a bit of a spiral. But I also wouldn't be surprised, because we only have about 75 pages left of this book, if that spiral connects to the second book, because the second book is also about this couple. It's taken 13, I believe, or something 13. So it's still about Johnny and Shannon before we move on to the next couple. And I do have the second book, so I probably will start reading it pretty soon after this. But yeah, I'm going to definitely finish these 75 pages today, and I will try to record some of my reactions to the end of the book if any of them are good, and obviously I will tell you my thoughts after, and then I'll do a little spoiler-free thoughts section at the end for anybody who clicked on this video and doesn't want the spoilers. She's walked into the changing rooms because Gisby sent her in there because he's about to go for surgery because of what happened on the pitch, and now they're holding hands and she's comforting him, and this is kind of just as cute as they've ever been. It's so soft love. Like I feel like this whole book has been very soft love, which I really appreciate, because the other themes in this book is hard enough, and just the love being so soft and kind and caring, even if they're not dating, it's just like a nice contrast. Guys, that's diabolical. I actually don't think I can say what I just read on YouTube, but page 736. that's actually tickled me a bit. Oh, she kissed him and he didn't kiss her back again. If I was her, I'd actually just like die on the spot, because it's like so confusing for her, because he's making it obvious he likes her with the way he acts towards her, but like every time, like when she tries to make a move on him that isn't kissing him, he kind of reciprocates, or he like takes it further. But the second she kisses him, he's just not down for it. I think that's a bit too serious for him. But honestly, he needs to throw her a bone or tell her that it's not going to happen, because it's. I mean, he did kind of tell her it wasn't going to happen, but then he carried on acting like it was, you know. So he needs to be a bit more clear, because she's kind of dying out here, and I feel bad for her. Oh, don't worry. He just kissed her back. Okay, don't worry. Finally, I knew. I started recording because I was like, I know. But the second she walked into that change room, I was like, I know something's going to happen. I want to be recording. I'm so glad I did. Oh my god. I can't believe this is her first kiss. Also, by the way, like her first proper kiss. That's insane. know I just said that her kissing him and him not kissing her back would, like, that would be it for me if I was in that situation. But them actually finally kissing each other for the first time in the book and the coach walking in on them. I've never recovered. I'm so sorry. But she doesn't get a break in this book. Like, I know I said it's written like a Wattpad, but honestly, give her a break because every chapter she's tripping up or like in pain or like embarrassing herself over and over again. Like, this girl does not get a break. It's actually quite insane at this point. I need her to have a break. Oh, he adjusted her skirt. That's kind of cute. Oh, there's paramedics as well. They just had 3 people walking on them. That's oh my god. I don't like how Coach is talking to Shannon. It's a bit I don't love it. Oh, she's caused him to bleed. Oh my god, what the hell is going on right now? Oh, he's in so much pain. Why the hell did he keep kissing her if it was hurting him? I mean, it's kind of romantic, but like in like such a twisted way. Oh, I don't know. Oh, he said very sorry for not kissing her back that night. They're being really sweet, guys. I feel like I'm finally getting what I want out of this relationship. Not that it's technically a relationship yet, but it basically is. They spend like a lot of time together, and now they've kissed. So put a label on it. She's now about to visit him in hospital, so let's see how this goes. Finally, we get Johnny's perspective on it all. I remember the match last night. I remember the girl. Johnny, please. There's a girl on the bus. I need you to find her for me. I think I love that girl. I know he's on like some insane painkillers right now, but it's literally just making him tell the truth. But someone needs to stop him because he's just letting it all out to his dad. And it's just really random. But oh, she makes my heart go like, whoa. Oh my god, that's actually really cute. Boom, boom, fucking boom, all the time. Stop it. Oh, he's gonna be so embarrassed when he comes off his pain medication and he realizes what he's been saying to his mum, because this is crazy. I'm gonna buy her a ring. Oh my god. I'm so scared to what he's gonna say to Shannon because he's so out of it. And I think he's just gonna like admit his love for her or something. And I don't even know how she's gonna like react to it. Cause like, how do you react to that? Like, you know, he's like on some like really intense pain medication. Like, it still is the truth. It's just not really how you want feelings to be admitted. Maybe he won't. Maybe he won't embarrass himself, but I'm pretty sure he's going to. Oh, oh my god! I hope no one tells him. I hope no one tells him what he said to people. Oh my god. Oh my god. I'm getting so much secondhand embarrassment, but also it's so entertaining. So I really don't know how to feel. Oh my god, he did. I knew he was going to, and he did. He just told her he loves her. Oh, oh my god. He's so in love with her. It's actually really sweet. You are love. Stop it, guys. Oh, she finally told him that it's her father hurting her, but he fell asleep right before she said it. Ooh, that's not great. Okay, so I know that he doesn't remember anything of what he said last night. He's just woken up the next morning, obviously the pain medication is worn off. He doesn't remember anything he said, but he's just dismissed her so easily. Obviously last night, he doesn't remember this, but last night they kissed and he told her he loved her, and now he's just woken up and just like he's freaking out about his like rugby career, which is totally valid. But the fact that he's dismissed her so quickly, oh, I feel so bad for her. I'm so scared for Shannon when she gets home because obviously her father's not going to have a good reaction to her going to Dublin, and also I'm pretty sure he's been told about the change of an incident. And I'm pretty sure we have like 20 pages left, so I really don't know what can happen in those 20 pages, but I'm scared. I'm really scared. And I just don't think anyone can save her this time. I'm hoping Joey's home to stop anything bad from happening, or that Johnny somehow pieces it together. But even if he does, he's on bed rest and there's no way he's going to get to her in time. So I'm really scared to go into these last 20 pages. Wish me luck. He's already abusing her. Okay. We went straight into it. Oh my god. Oh my god. Her 11-year-old brother. Her 11-year-old brother is trying to protect her. I swear to God, if her dad turns on the brother as well. He's 11, and it's not okay at any age, but he's 11. Oh, all of her brothers are there. They're 11, 9, and 3 years old. I can't do this, guys. I actually can't. Oh, thank God Joey's there. But, like, honestly, I think she needs to go to hospital. Oh my god. I feel. I mean, there's no way really to describe how you feel when you're reading a scene like that. I think I feel sick, but, like, obviously. Oh, and her mum's home. Oh, and her little brother is hurt. And her mum's comforting the dad. Like, it's so messed up. Fucking kidding me. Her mum's patching up her dad when her daughter is lying nearly dead on the ground. I can't, that's insane. Oh, I was not expecting that to be the last page. Joey's saying that their mum has to choose either their dad or them, which is so valid, but then that's where it stops. Why is that where it stops, guys? Oh, that's not okay. So I finished it. It is the 6th of May, I believe, today, so it took me about 20 days to finish this book, which isn't too bad, but isn't great either. I'm not mad at it, it's quite a thick book. I really, really liked this book. I think I did go into it with expectations of it reading like the books I normally read, when I should have really gone into expectations. I don't know when this was published. It's where it usually says. Okay, it says first published in this edition 2023, but it says copyright 2014. So I'm assuming it was written 2013, published 2014, or something like that. Obviously, it takes longer than a year to write a book, but I'm assuming it was first published in 2014. So I should have gone into it with the expectations that it would read a bit more YA, kind of like the reading style of 2014. Just because I feel like we did go through a bit of a stage with books in 2014 where like the girl would always be like needing the guy to save her. The girl would be like, oh, so clumsy and da 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 da. That did get on my nerves a little bit, but like every chapter, Shannon has something going wrong. It made me feel bad for her, but at the same time, I'm like, how is it going wrong? And I've already like touched on this, but I would think she would be stronger because of what's going on at home. Like, I just feel like if I were to write a character like that, she would probably stand up for herself more. Like, not at home. You know what? I feel like that's quite unfair for me to say. I don't know. I actually feel like it is quite a realistic depiction. I feel like there's like many different ways that you can turn out if you grow up in an environment like that. I just think the writing is a bit Wattpad-y and a bit like Johnny to save her every chapter, like, or like give her a ride home every chapter. I feel like they're just looking for like these really out of the way excuses for the two main characters to spend time with each other, and we didn't need to constantly do that. And also sometimes the talk or the writing in this book was a bit too overly sexual and like lusty for me. I think it was just at the start of the book I was getting a bit like, I don't know why we're talking about like stuff like that so much, and just some of the language is crude. But also it does say mature 18+ content on the back of the book, so at least it's like warned, because a lot of book nowadays would not warn. I just think it wasn't necessary half of the time. But also when we're following teenagers and we're following their inner sports group, and they're like really good sports people, teenagers in like a rich person people's school, it makes sense they're gonna act like that. I didn't love it, because that's just not my kind of writing style. But yeah, despite all that, I really fell in love with these characters. I fell in love with Johnny, I fell in love with Shannon, and I also fell in love with the side characters, which I'm really excited to see like their own books. Like, both of Johnny's and Shannon's problems were heartbreaking, obviously. I would say Shannon's more. Like, I do understand Johnny's, but I mean, Shannon's making me feel sick. And that last scene made me feel sick. I think the progression of their relationship was really nice. And I think it was frustrating at times, like the miscommunication, Johnny shutting her down when she would try to be vulnerable with him, or like try to get him to be vulnerable with her, or like show her feelings. But I do understand, because he has felt like he would never trust someone, especially with Bella in his life. I understand why he would feel like he couldn't open up to people. Just the way he's grown up, like being quite well known for a long time because of how good he is at rugby, and how he knows that people will get close to him just because of that fame, or to learn something that they can then like spread because everybody wants to know stuff about him. I do understand why he was struggling to open up, and obviously it's totally reasonable that Shannon didn't really open up that much during this book, because who would at that point. But also I feel like their relationship progressed really nicely to like spending time with each other, like talking a bit more, joking a bit more, opening up a bit more. I feel like their feelings did progress at a nice pace, which is good because it's an 800-page book, so you'd think they'd be able to get the pacing right. I wouldn't say it was slow at any point. I feel like we always had something to discuss while reading it, but the last like 75 pages of this book was kind of crazy. And I am very excited to read the second book. I will definitely be reading the second book. I will definitely be making a video out of it. I'm not sure if I'm going to jump into it straight away. I might. We'll see. But yeah, I really enjoyed this book. I did expect to enjoy it because everybody loves them, and I can definitely see how it's going to get so much more painful the longer the series goes and the more attached she gets with the characters. I'm really scared to see where Shannon's story specifically goes next. I'm excited to see Shannon and Johnny in the next book, because I mean, hopefully they can just communicate and be there for each other, but it's also like an 800-page book, so unless all of that's about her family issues and his career issues, there are probably going to be a lot of relationship issues in it as well, which is sad. But yeah, I would give it a 4 stars, just because I had like a couple of grievances with it, but I do think it's definitely a series where I think my rating will go up with each book, hopefully. Obviously I don't know, but that's usually how I feel with long series. The first book is usually like the lowest rated, because then the more you go on with the series, the more attached you feel to the characters, so the more like what happens in the book actually affects you. And I just love having like physical reactions to books. It's one of my favourite things. But yes, this was my vlog of reading Binding 13 by Chloe Walsh. Very good book. Very happy I finally read it, and I hope you guys enjoyed watching me read it, hearing my thoughts, seeing my reactions. And I will be uploading videos every time I read one of these books, and I will also be doing other reading vlogs over time. So if you want to subscribe, please do. If you like F1, that's the main video content I post on this channel, so please subscribe if you also like F1. Thank you. Bye.